I guess start. We get your perspective on the other night. What went right in that Tampa game that you guys want to see tonight, mostly defensively, but you got the offense going a little bit as well.
Well, I thought Fedotov was excellent for us. I thought the first 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes, he showed that he was ready to play and made a couple key saves for us and sort of let it get our legs under us a little bit. I think anytime you play Carolina as your last opponent, the next team's going to feel a little slower. So you feel like you have a little more time and space, and I think we benefited from that a little bit. And I thought we played a patient team game, which has really been a hallmark of how we had a lot of our success last year.
Brad, do you have lineup news by chance? Who's in, who's out, goalie for tonight?
Urson's in net, and I believe everything else is the same.
Speaking to Emil Andre, he, by his own admission, kind of struggled against Carolina. Sorts thought he had a real big bounce back game on Thursday. But I guess for you, since you're obviously his positional coach, you got to watch him last year in camp and then the first few games of the year when he was up. What specifically has he improved upon this time versus the last time he was with the team?
I think he's protecting himself a little bit better. I thought he made the team out of camp 2 years ago and came in and did a lot of good things, but he was putting himself in harm's way a lot. And I thought that wore on him a little bit confidence-wise. It wore on his effectiveness on the ice. I think this time he's looks like he's always been a guy with poise and composure with the puck. I think he's showing that a little bit more, but I also think he's protecting himself a little bit once he's moved the puck. He's a great attacking player, and so we've asked him to try and attack as often as possible. We feel like we can do that more as a group of defense, weak side predominantly, but occasionally the strong side guy as well. So we'd like to see 4 guys in the attack as often as we can.
With him, if he's going to attack, and obviously you're developing him, he's going to make some mistakes. How do you approach, dealing with the mistakes and encouraging him to, keep attacking, even if sometimes it goes the wrong way?
Well, I think you have to mine for gold or, accentuate the positives, however you want to say it. It's up to me to find good things that he's doing on the attack, show him, tell him, why it's important and keep beating that drum. I think he has to find where he fits in at this league. Like that doesn't happen in the first 15, 20 games. It's usually a little bit farther down the road. I thought we saw, Yorkie take that step as a young defenseman. I think he's got a pretty clear picture on how he's going to have success at this level. Obviously he'd like to add a little bit of offense to what he's done so far. But I think the foundation of his game is pretty apparent. I think Emil is on his way to doing that same thing. He's in the process. Sometimes it happens fairly quickly, like with Yorkie, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer. I like Emil. He asks good questions. He's a confident guy. He goes out and falls on his face, and then the next shift he's ready to go again. That's great. Some guys get buried by that. Some guys have trouble digging out of it, and for me, he looks like a confident guy. It looks like he feels like he belongs here, and sometimes that's more than half the battle. And you add his vision, his timing. And I said that to him today. I think the timing on when he moves the puck has been excellent. Not just where he's putting it and how he's doing it. It's the timing so that guy can maximize his next advantage and possibly start generating something.
Obviously, there's going to be other factors that play into the decision with Cam York coming back, roster complications, things like that. But just in terms of skill set, do you think he's at the point where he can probably learn here on the fly, in terms of NHL readiness?
Well, he has to play. So if he's not in our top 6, then to me, he has to play. He looks like a guy who can kill penalties as well. We have him in our second pair right now. He's going to battle, ice time though, when Yorkie's back. And as soon as we get 100% healthy, we have some decisions we have to make. And, we have to sort of balance. Is it better for him to play a little bit of a marginal role here, or send him down and give him the lion's share of the ice time down there and let him keep developing there? That's an age-old question for defensemen especially. Where is it best for the development? We've decided that Hunter is going to learn best down there. Is Emil's game at a point now where he can sort of keep his head above water often enough here to learn here. And that's always a tough question, and we're going to try and balance that as best we can.
In terms of the penalty kill, again, one of the top penalty kills in the NHL. What do you think works best for you guys in terms of facing different power plays? And tonight you're facing the number 6 power play in the NHL.
I think we have a lot of guys that take a ton of pride in killing penalties. I think from the goalie on out, there's a general thought that we realize how important we are to our success, and it seems like the buy-in is incredible. It's as good as any group I've been around, especially at this level. And I think when you have that, and when you have guys playing for one another, we haven't had the success offensively that we had to this point last year. And, we've talked about that, how teams are ready for that a little bit more. I also think we've spent a little bit more time in our zone recently, not so much last game. I thought we were really on point again. But there's been times where it looks like we want to generate offense and we've been 35, 40 seconds in our zone. You talk to the fitness people, those shifts are twice as hard as a 5-on-5 shift. So, now you're well over a minute of ice time. Theoretically, we need to look for changes there instead of look to try and create offense. So all those guys that love to score shorthanded goals, there's a real incentive to get the job done in the first 5, 8, 10 seconds. Well, now you've got some gas in the tank to possibly get down the ice. And, it was a big component of what we did last year. But the actual killing of the penalties, I think for the most part, our goalies have been excellent. Urson's been crazy good. Sanheim looks like he's taken another step as far as when to skate, when to use his big frame, when to use his reach, being a step ahead on the checking. I mean, Risto actually the last game, I thought he showed poise with the puck that we've asked from him. We felt like we need to show a little bit more of that during games. He now, adds that to his game. So it's been a great growth. I mean, we still can get way better. That's the beauty of it. We've gotten some good bounces. We've gotten some, guys missed empty nets. And you need that to be where we're at. We've played well, but we've also had our good share of fortune, and we're going to work our tails off to try and make sure those bounces keep going our way.
I talked to Garnett Hathaway and Ryan Pelling last week, before Ryan obviously went on IR, but they said they were talking on the ice about something specific to the power play, or to the penalty kill, and that you skated over and you were like, blah, blah, and they were like, no, we got this. We were literally just talking about this. I mean, is that even more important that the guys are, kind of having those communication, that conversations, throughout the day and on the ice?
Well, absolutely. This group here, this power play, really likes to generate motion sort of through the tops of the circles and or bottoms of the circles to test how well you're working and reading off one another. So that's going to be a big challenge for us tonight. And so the more that they can communicate and almost, get the play a step ahead, or however you want to term it, we'd like to be as proactive as we can. We don't want to sit on our heels. There are times when we're gassed and there's nothing in the legs. We have to play a tight structure. Otherwise, we're looking for that next chance to press, and we're looking to be as aggressive as we can to sort of keep them off balance. We know we give those guys time and space. That group of 5 guys, they're going to create chances, and our job is to try and minimize those things and try and frustrate them as much as we can.